Test. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this special joint service today from White River BWA and Seattle, between BWA. This is the Lady Kujo and Lady Otani joint memorial service. I'll let you read their biographies in the program. I'm not going to keep you very long for that. So, today's service, we will start in the purple book on page 22, Sambujo, and then we will, we'll start with that, and then we go to Jusege on page 23, which is right next door.
Can I ask that everyone please put your hands together in God's show, or bow your head in contemplation. As we say together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Not, Namo Not, Namo Not, Namo. Today, we are gathered at the White River Buddhist Temple to remember the lives of Lady Kazuko Otani and Lady Takeko Kujo. Both women co-founded the Buddhist Women's Association, allowing women to become leaders within the temple, as well as helping the surrounding communities. Both Lady Otani and Lady Kujo live their life within the Dharma, and to this day, encourage everyone to listen and say, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha.
싱아흐만조
Can I ask that everyone please once more put your hands together in God's shore, bow your head in contemplation. As we say once more together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida.
Since this is a special service, we will have Oshoku, or incense offering by White River BWA and Seattle Betsuin BWA. So first I'd like to call on the representative from Seattle Betsuin BWA. White River Buddhist Women's Association. Thank you. I'm going to try to move this. I hope I won't disconnect myself. We had a seminar yesterday. I think they didn't put things right back where I like them. I don't know anything else. All right. For those of you who are able, please rise, and we will have the reading of the three treasures. You'll find it on page 3 of your service book. Okay, well, we will do what we can. There it is. 3 treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Next we will have a gatha or song. It's called Seiya, which is based on the writings of Lady Kujo. You have your choice. You can use the purple book. No, you don't want the purple book. Okay, we'll use the white book. All right, no choice. Okay, we're going to do it that way. So on the white book, I think it's page 124. 124. Thank you. You may be seated. Now we'll have an introduction by Reverend Cindy of our guest speaker for today.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to see so many people here this morning to hear a special guest speaker. So today we have for you, all the way from Idaho Oregon Buddhist Temple, Reverend Ann Spencer. Reverend Ann's first introduction to Buddhism was at Whitman College in Walla Walla in 1984, when the college required her to take foreign language classes, and Japanese was the only language that fit into her schedule. Professor Ron Takemoto, who was the son of Reverend Ron Takemoto, a BCA minister in Southern California, taught the class. After meeting Professor Takemoto, Reverend Ann decided to take Japanese culture classes, including tea ceremony lessons at Professor Takemoto's house. After college, Reverend Ann went on to graduate school in California and studied genetic counseling. She worked as a genetic counselor at Seattle Children's Hospital for 3 years and then moved to Idaho when her husband got a job there. Reverend Ann continued her work as a genetic counselor in Idaho for many years. In fall of 2002, Reverend Ann heard that Professor Takemoto would be speaking at Idaho Oregon Buddhist Temple, which was only 30 minutes from her house, and she went to see him. Her goal was to reconnect with her old friend and mentor. She never thought that 8 years later she would be ordained, or that 10 years later she would have a master's degree in Buddhist studies from the Institute of Buddhist Studies. And she never imagined that she would be a guest minister anywhere. But Reverend Ann fell in love with IOBT, Idaho Oregon Buddhist Temple, its welcoming Sangha, and the Jodo Shinshu teachings, and just kept studying and practicing. She found that the Jodo Shinshu Buddhist teachings, along with her relationship with the community of people at IOBT, helped her find meaning in her work as a genetic counselor and a new perspective to help face life's challenges. Along with Reverend Ann's part-time ministerial assignment at IOBT, she teaches genetic counseling graduate students at the Boise State University College of Health Sciences. So if you would join me in welcoming Reverend Ann Spencer.
Good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. As you can tell from the introduction, my life has been full of surprises, unexpected twists and turns. Please join me first in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Anda. Namo. I want to begin my Dharma talk this morning with a poem by Lady Kujo, which I think reflects her zest for life and dedication to service. Behold the cherry blossoms, how they bloom to the utmost, knowing that tomorrow they must fall. Lady Kujo was born in 1887. She was the sixth child of Monshu Myonyo Otani. As a girl, she briefly attended a school with an economically diverse student body, and in her time there developed an appreciation of and concern for the people from different backgrounds, including those who were much poorer than herself. As a young woman, she married Yoshimasa Kujo, and together they went to England, where he attended Cambridge University. However, Lady Kujo returned to Japan after just a year, while her husband remained in England for several more years, and much of her poetry actually reflects on this time when she was separated from her husband. In 1904, Takeko and her sister-in-law Kazuko founded the Buddhist Women's Association. One of their major goals was goals at the time was to assist the families of soldiers who were deployed in the Russo-Japanese War, as well as to assist the injured soldiers who had returned from that war. Together with Costco, she volunteered to help those who lived in the Tokyo slums. She was an advocate for women's education, and in 1920, she founded the Kyoto Women's College. After the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923, she helped the seriously injured and orphaned. And she founded the Asoka Hospital in Tokyo. The Asoka tree, for which the hospital was named, is the species of tree under which Queen Maya gave birth to Shakyamuni Buddha in Lumigiri Garden. And again, the goal of this hospital was to reach people who might not otherwise have such services. And in addition to all of this, in her spare time, she was an acclaimed poet. She died in 1928 at the age of just 42. Lady Takako Kujo's Memorial Day is February 7th, which is why we're holding this service at this time. I think you can tell from the history that I just gave you that she was strong, smart, and deeply compassionate. Living in an age of great change in Japan, she was able to use her intelligence, her energy, compassion, and social status to create change and found educational and philanthropic organizations, many of which still exist today. To be honest, I'm not an expert on Lady Kujo. There's still not a lot written about her that is available to us in English, so I had limited resources to work with. What I share with you is what I've just shared with you is what pretty much the extent of what I know about her. So for my howa today, I simply want to read a few of Lady Kujo's poems and then share some of the thoughts and feelings that the poems have brought up for me. Some of the ideas come out of my knowledge of Buddhism, some from my limited knowledge of Lady Kujo's life, and some from my own life experiences and reflections. My thoughts are just my thoughts. You should feel welcome to experience the poems in your own way. I'm not telling you how you should feel about them. I'm only sharing what they bring up as I read and reflect on them. So the first poem, 1,000 jewels are worthless. The precious thing is my body, a gift from my parents. Seeing our own bodies as gifts, as presents to be used, appreciated, and cared for, reminds us to be grateful just to be alive. We have this one unique, precious human life in this one unique, precious body. Lady Kujo reminds us that human bodies are important and valuable, more valuable than riches or expensive jewels. We should not take our bodies for granted. I also think about this poem in the context of Lady Kujo's work with the poor. I think about her founding Ashoka Hospital and her work with the victims of the Great Kanto earthquake. Appreciating her own body, she also saw the value of caring directly for the physical needs of those around her, especially those who had few resources to care for themselves. It seems natural to me that her appreciation of her own body, seeing it as a precious gift, would have inspired her to recognize the value of other people's bodies and lives. What better way to show appreciation for the value of our physical form, the value of our bodies, than to found a hospital, which of course she did. 1,000 jewels are worthless. The precious thing is my body, a gift from my parents. Next poem. Drawn by the power of great things, ah, how unsteady are my steps. As you can already see, Lady Kujo was passionate about social justice, community organizing, and caring for others. But she was human. She was probably scared, unsure, and got tired, just like the rest of us. This poem reminds me that feeling unsteady or uncertain in a plan does not mean that it's a bad plan. That I should decide I should not give up or worry too much about failing. Doubt is normal. It's okay to be unsteady when we're taking on something big. You know, when I was thinking about her founding the Fujinkai all those years ago, I wondered if she could have imagined how big it would become. I wonder if, for even an instant, that she could have imagined someone like me, a white American woman, giving a Dharma talk on her poetry in the town of Auburn, Washington, in North America in 2024. 100 years since she died. And yet, without her, I almost certainly would not be here. The spread of Buddhism and the empowerment of women to share the Dharma and engage in acts of service to all were great things that have benefited so many around the world. But when she started the work, she had no idea if it would be successful or not. She was unsteady, but she did it anyway. I hope that this reflection will be an inspiration for all of us. Drawn by the power of great things, how unsteady are my steps. Next poem. How disagreeable it is for three women to travel together. One of them is always lonesome. This one makes me laugh, and it looks like it makes you laugh too. It also makes me trust Lady Kujo, because I see that she, like me, struggles with the challenges and annoyances of ordinary daily life. She isn't such a calm, emotionally secure, wise person that she can just go with the flow and adapt calmly to conflicts and changes of plans with her traveling companions. If she were, I'm not sure that I could really believe that she understands the struggles of the rest of us. She, like us, knows the challenges of human interactions, our different goals and preferences, our different physical needs. In theory, it may seem fun to take a trip with our friends, and it probably is sometimes. But there are always that moments when it doesn't go quite so well. Someone is grumpy or irritable. Two people want to do one thing that the other one really doesn't want to. I find it so reassuring that someone who is known for their compassion and selflessness also experienced the same social frustrations as I do. Her own honesty reminds me that maybe being annoyed and irritable does not disqualify me from also trying to do good in the world. How disagreeable it is for three women to travel together. One of them is always lonesome. Next poem. The mountains rise higher and higher. The sky lifts and lifts. I stand rooted to the earth. When I read this poem, I immediately thought of the story of Shakyamuni, the historic Buddha at the time of his enlightenment. After seeking enlightenment, a true understanding of the nature of the universe through multiple different techniques, and failing at them all, Shakyamuni finally just sat down in quiet meditation, searching within himself for the true nature of reality. But a demon named Mara, who wanted to stop Siddhartha's quest for enlightenment, used various tricks to distract and confuse him. Mara told Siddhartha that he was not worthy of attaining enlightenment and challenged him to bring forth a witness who could speak for him. Siddhartha reached out his right hand to touch the earth. And the earth itself spoke, "I bear you witness." At that moment, Mara disappeared and Siddhartha became enlightened. This is why Shakyamuni Buddha is portrayed in the earth witness posture, with his left hand palm upright in his lap and his right hand touching the earth. The demon Mara perhaps represents the distractions that call us away from our identities. What is most important, perhaps, making us forget who and what we really are. In her poem, I feel like Lady Kujo, just like the story of the Buddha, is reminding us of our deep connection to the earth, to stay grounded, to stay realistic and humble amidst all the distractions of human life. The mountains rise higher and higher. The sky lifts and lifts. I stand rooted to the earth. I'm now anxious because I think I don't have a page, so I'm going to make sure that I have found page 6 before I start. I see. This is exciting. Oh, look. Page 6. We're set. Okay. And the last poem I would like to share. Thinking that I was formed from the depths beneath the blue waves, I gaze upon the spring sea. I think that when we discuss religion, when we think about spirituality, we think of something pretty abstract. We may think about gods or spirits that we can't see. We may think of perfection of virtues like infinite love or infinite compassion. We may even think of spiritual goals such as attaining perfect wisdom or escaping from suffering. In Buddhism, many people hope that if they follow strict discipline and meditate hard enough that they can achieve enlightenment. But the nature of our human bodies, with all their various needs and frailties, may lead us to see our humanness as an obstacle to spiritual progress. If we were only, I don't know, stronger or braver or something, maybe then we could become enlightened. Because our minds are so distractible and limited, we may lose track of our goals of living a religiously or spiritually engaged life. But I think that Lady Kujo's life shows us that this is not the case. That right now, this body, living in whatever circumstances we are in, we can find a connection to things bigger, older, and deeper than ourselves, such as the sky or the ocean. Thinking that I was formed from the depths beneath these blue waves, I gaze upon the spring sea. Buddhism teaches us that everything changes. Life is impermanent. Buddhism also teaches that we suffer if we become too attached to things that change, expecting them to always stay the same. If we want to hold on to something forever, then we will end up wasting energy and being constantly disappointed. But rather than becoming cynical, this teaching of impermanence can inspire us to live each day to the fullest, knowing we are supported by the infinite compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha. Appreciating each moment, each day, knowing that it is precious and unrepeatable. I feel like Lady Kujo's life offers us a model for what that might have looked like. Behold the cherry blossoms, how they bloom to the utmost, knowing that tomorrow they must fall. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda.
Thank you for your Dharma message, Reverend Spencer. New ideas and poems from Lady Kujo for us to contemplate. So, if you are able, please rise for the Gatha, Ondoksan 2. You'll find that on page 153 of our Purple Service Book, and remain standing after the song. Thank you. Help there. So we will now read the Daily Creator Jodo Shinshu. You'll find it on page 8 of this purple book. There it is. Daily Creative, read along with me. Daily Creative Jodo Shinshu. Realizing assured and reciting the Nembutsu, I shall live my life cheerfully and positively. Understanding the oneness of life and cultivating self-reflection, I shall diligently attend to my life's tasks in gratitude. Recognizing the Dharma path, I shall help spread the teachings of the Buddha. Appreciating the Buddha Dharma, I shall respect and help others, working for the good of society. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 namanda. Thank you. You may be seated. Are there any guests today that'd like to be recognized?
Sorry. I'm pretty sure you all noticed that there's another person sitting on the altar with Reverend Spencer and I. So I would like to introduce Reverend Irene Goto, Minister's Assistant at the Seattle Betsui. So thank you very much, Irene Sensei, for coming and attending with us. It's very nice that we were able to do this jointly. So thank you very much for coming.
Good morning. Thank you, White River, for hosting the service today. I'm Kemi Nakabayashi, the music director from Seattle Betsuin, and I wanted to let you know probably the easiest way is to go to the Seattle Betsuin newsletter for the month of February. I have a musical notes column every month, but the current one lists a couple of things along with Reverend Irene Goto, including the flyers for 2 upcoming online events. One is a Bon Daiko webinar by the BCA Music Bonadori Taiko Committee, and you don't have to be a taiko player. It's a panel of Bon Daiko, including Kinada Taiko, Maui Taiko, Tiffany Tamaribuchi, and Isaku Kageyama, explaining the use of taiko in Bonadori, and also PJ and Roy Hirabayashi from San Jose Taiko, presenting a tribute to Reverend Hiroshi Abiko. So I think it would be an interesting webinar, and the registration link is on the music or the Seattle Betsuin website, as well as the CBE from the BCA website. So I encourage you to join us for that That is March 2nd, Saturday morning. And then the other thing I put in my newsletter article is a separate program. It's not BCA sponsored, but Sydney Shirayama is an occupational therapist and taiko player. She came up for our Northwest District Conference in September, and she and some others do something called Rhythmic Flow Taiko. And this is a 6-week or 6-session online class that begins and requires registration. I think the first class is February 21st. It's Wednesday afternoons, and you don't have to have any taiko experience. It's actually a program designed for Parkinson's disease patients, and using things, utensils and pillows and things that you have in your home, and join online. So that might be of interest to some of you, or pass on the information to others who might be interested in that. In that flyer and registration info is also in the Seattle Betsuin February newsletter. And then lastly, your co-member with Seattle Betsuin, Dennis Yamashita, has an article in the BCA Wheel of Dharma. If you've received it yet, it's online, on Shinji Eshima. He's a composer that we commissioned for the upcoming Eitaikyo service. The Gatha Amida's Light is going to premiere there, and that will be online for you to view on that February 25th BCA Eitaikyo service. And that's probably good for now. I have other announcements, but please look at my musical notes column, and I'll be putting some more things up for the spring. Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi. We do appreciate live music here. It adds so much to our services, and we thank you for all the efforts. We know that you just don't walk in here and play. I'm sure you practice and coordinate and so forth. So your efforts are very much appreciated. Now we'll have announcements from members of the temple. I see one standing.
So finally, after long threatening, we're back in the rhythm of doing our Timeless Classics cooking classes. The next one is going to be on the first Saturday in March, which is March the 2nd. As of right now, planning to get together here in our kitchen at 10 o'clock, and we're going to be doing miso soup from scratch. So we're not going to be opening the packets, and along with some rice and pickles, so traditional. And then also we're going to learn how to make dorayaki. So please, going to be putting up a sign-up sheet back in the back hallway. Please attend if you can. And after we make good food, we sit down and have a little sort of a meal together. And it's a wonderful experience. So I hope some of you can join us. And we're asking for, at the time of the class, a $5 donation for materials, if you can. Thank you.
Good morning. I apologize, I didn't get put into our announcement handout. This Saturday, the BCA is having their seminar, and it's online. We will post the link for that on our website and also send it out to our members so that you can get it's open to anybody, okay? So it's a good way to learn. It runs from 8:30 till 5:30, and there's different segments, so you don't have to be on there for the whole time. But the 8:30 session is with the president of BCA, Terry Omori. Then there's a town hall session from 9:30 to 11. Then there's BCA task force presentation from 11:15 to noon, and then there's a break for lunch. Then from 1 to 1:50, there's a session on propagation and membership. 2 to 2:50 is ministerial affairs. 3 to 3:50 is social welfare. And then 4 to 5:30 is the BCA Endowment Foundation. So if you're interested in learning about any of these, please join. You don't have to go to every one of these, but if anything piques your interest, it's a good way to learn about things that BCA is doing. So I encourage all of you to at least attend things that might be of interest to you, or things that you don't know anything about and would like to learn about it. So Then on Sunday, the the following weekend is the BCA National Council meeting, which is going to be in person in Sacramento. So they will have on Saturday, February 24th, there's an IBS symposium at 3 p.m. That will be online, so people can listen to that. And then on Sunday, the Eitaikyo service, it is in the announcement, but the Eitaikyo service is at 10 a.m. and we will be live streaming it here at the temple. So all of our members, in lieu of our regular service, will be live streaming the Eitaikyo service from Sacramento. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just have two quick announcements. One is that White River tax statements for pledge memberships went out last week. If you didn't get one, get your statement, contact me. There are also pledge forms on the bulletin board there. The other thing is our ABA meeting for tomorrow. It's a Zoom meeting. It's been changed to 12:30 as opposed to 1. If you need the Zoom link, let me know. Thanks. Goodbye.
Okay, so one announcement that I apologize is also not in the handout, but it's because they emailed it out never mind, they emailed it out yesterday, but I was too busy to print it out. But in addition to what Shaw was saying about the BCA symposium, et cetera, there is also a fundraising component. So on Friday, February 16th, there is a Panda Express fundraiser for BCA and the Institute of Buddhist Studies. So it's an event in which you go order from Panda Express, use the code, and then some of that amount that you purchase goes to BCA and IBS. So that, again, is February 16th. I do have the code. It's on my phone, so if you want it, then you either have to talk to... Oh, no, Sharon's nice. Thank you so much, Sharon, for printing it out. So Sharon has flyers in the back. For you to take home so that you don't have to look at my phone and try to take a picture of it. So yes, if you order it online, remember, use that code. If you're going in person, maybe bring the flyer and then show them the flyer, and they'll put in that code for you. So again, it's February 16th, all day at Panda Express, any Panda Express. So please come, go and support BCA and IBS. Thank you.
Well, I get to make one more announcement. I think you'll enjoy this one. There will be cake and tea following the service. Everyone is welcome. Just go through those double doors there. Some cake has already been cut, and just go in there and help yourself. Tea will be coming, and once I put on my apron again, I'll make some more cake slices. And please, if the cake slices are too small, come back for another one. Nobody's counting. Take it home for Super Bowl if you want to. I don't know. Whatever you like. It's not brown. It's white cake. But anyway, we want you to just enjoy yourselves. Spend some time conversing with fellow Sangha members, or if the ministers make themselves available, that would be lovely. So we will now close our service with the words that you'll find at the bottom of the program. It's a tradition we've started a little while ago. So read along with me. My life is not only my life, but the life of others' sacrifices, kindness, and thoughtfulness. I am grateful. You're better at it than I am. Thank you very much. Namo Amidabats, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. have some cake, drive home safe. I hope if you're watching the bowl, whatever team you want wins, or your commercial wins, whatever it is, enjoy.